I want with all my heart to be a place that my God would dwell. Truly, I'm wanting to enlarge the bullseye on my life ever so much. I want encounters with God that will transform me. I want to commune with my God. I want to be walking down the road and have mysteries drop into my heart. I want to see a generation just like you in this room, that as you walk and you commune with God, the Son of Man living inside of you, residing within you, and you're communing with Him. Intimacy, mysteries are going on inside the human heart. And if that is the posture and pursuit that you are going at, purity and holiness must be your focus. 100% a focus on living right before God. The idea that you want to commune with God and you do not hate sin, it will not work. You must hate sin. You must resist it with everything you've got. This is how King David put it. This has been something that we've been massively focusing on in the house of prayer. Mike delivered a message a while ago out of Psalms 101. Verse 1, King David, he says, I will sing of mercy and justice. To you, O Lord, I will sing praises. And this is what he says. I will behave wisely in a perfect way. Now, perfect, he's not saying I'm going to attain perfection. But his aim was to be responsive at all times. His goal was 100% obedience. Now, when Mike shared that, that struck me like an arrow through the heart. King David, he says, my goal is to behave in 100% obedience. I am living a life where the heart's content and the pursuit of my life, I take and consider regularly. Simple compromises can no longer exist within my pursuit. For my focus is to live 100% in obedience before the Lord. I will behave and walk in a blameless manner before my God. For my desire is that I would commune with Him, that I would find rest in my God, but more than that, that He would find rest in me. And 100% obedience is the pursuit and focus of my life. He says, oh, when will you come to me? The cry of his heart was, I want God to come and dwell with me. And the way I do it is to aim at being right before Him. 100% obedience. I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. I will set nothing wicked before my eyes. I will set nothing wicked before my eyes. He's making a vow. He is making a statement in front of all of his friends, but also in front of his holy God. He says, I will put nothing in front of my eyes that will defile me, that will taint my pursuit and my posture in pursuing you. He goes, I am going to live right before you. I am lining my life up in such a manner that I will live pure before you. It's interesting, because sometimes when you preach like this, you highlight Psalm 101, and then you start to throw out a couple of things. There is a response of apprehension. I will behave wisely before my God. This is not a call to legalism. But I tell you, you begin to talk like this, you will get branded. I hear stories often where you get together, you hang out as some friends, it ends up, some of you end up with your girlfriend, some of you end up with your boyfriend, the two of you at home. One thing leads to another. You end up in an incredibly compromising situation, and you go where you would wish you would not have gone. And then in that context, you get up on a Sunday morning and you hold hands and you go in, you sit down in church. You lift your hands and you say, God, I love you. But the reality is that, according to the scriptures, you would be called a liar, because you cannot live a life going down that journey and commune with God, because darkness and light do not coexist. I love the grace of God. If not for the grace of God, no one in this room would be here. But it's interesting what has happened in the teaching that has been going on within this nation in regards to the grace of God. Because the grace of God has been taught in such a manner that purity and holiness have not been promoted in the context of being the grace of God being preached. Because listen to this. This is what Titus, he says this. For the grace of God, Titus 2:11, for the grace of God that brings salvation has appeared to all men, teaching us. This is what the grace of God should instruct you and catapult you into. It is to denying ungodliness and worldly lusts, that we should live soberly and righteously and godly in this present age. The grace of God has been released to the church that it would throw you into a life of being right with God. The grace of God is to give you power to live right before Him. It is not to give you a message that would ease you into compromising situations. The grace of God is to bolster you, give you power to live 100% obedience before your God. That's what Titus says. It is to catapult you into a right lifestyle that would enlarge the target on your life, that He would come and dwell with you. The grace of God that has been taught that would lead you to a slippery slope into compromise, in my opinion, is great error. And it has allowed this generation to be happy with its sin, and in the same context lift their hand and sing, how great is our God. I'm telling you, the days of Noah are coming again, where perversion will know no end. Darkness will be at every corner. And if you living in this generation right now do not make a choice like David to live 100% with obedience as your greatest cry, as the target of your life, I'm telling you, the pull of darkness is going to derail you, and great will be your destruction. Sermon on the Mount, that's what it says. Those who do not take heart to live this lifestyle, the Beatitudes being fleshed out in your life, it says great will be your fall. I tell you, I want to experience power through the grace of God that would embolden me to live pure and right before God. And it is my desire that you in this room would feel the conviction of a holy God. I want to feel the conviction of a holy God. I'm preaching to the choir tonight because I want to talk with God on a regular basis. And my prayer is that everyone that has come into this room tonight, those that are watching on God TV, that you would have a heart that is set on 100% obedience before the Lord. This is what Paul says to the church at Ephesus. Ephesians 1:4, he says this: just as He chose us in Him before the foundation of the world. This is how He chose us, that we should be holy and without blame. This is how He wants us to live, holy and without blame before Him.